Hi there, this is Teresa. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to do November predictions. What is going on for you in the month of November? We are going to use this Sacred Feminine Oracle deck. So if you're wondering what deck I'm using, this is the deck I'm using. And then we'll use this tarot deck to clarify. We're going to get one Oracle card for the overall energy for you in the month of November. And then we'll get some tarot to clarify. Keep in mind, this is general collective, so only take what resonates. Feel free to check out your sun, moon, or your rising placement and discern from there. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Aries, what's the overall energy for you in the month of November? What's the energy for Aries in November? Generosity, being generous, number 24. So let's take a look at this. This is about abundance, security, maternity, and youthful spirit. It says this invites you to create abundance in your life and the lives of those around you. By working with the right people, you're being called to invest in your mind, body, and soul. Saying yes to things could be difficult. It could be complicated for you, and you may struggle with that. You could be a mother where maybe you do too much, or you mother people around you. You are very maternal. So let's clarify, because there's something about being more generous with yourself also, not just other people. Aries, clarify, why is generous the overall energy for Aries in the month of November? Okay, so we've got the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Eight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Strength. So you could be somebody who you've been saving. Maybe you've been wanting to go on a vacation or a trip of some sort, but every time, maybe you already have the money to go, but every time you think about going, you think that you shouldn't spend the money on yourself, that you shouldn't do this. Well, in the month of November, the universe is saying now is the time for you to give back to yourself. That you do maybe a lot for other people. You take care and nurture a lot of people around you. And it's finally time for you to have this strength and courage within yourself to realize these emotions and this desire for this trip that you've wanted to go on for so long. You've saved the money and it's available to you, that you need to get going. With the Chariot, this is about traveling, going the distance, and moving forward and not staying caught up in this energy of, maybe I shouldn't spend the money. Maybe I shouldn't go. Or I could use this to give to so-and-so, or I could help so-and-so out instead. There's something about you being more generous with yourself. This maternal, you could be a mom, or you could just be someone who is just very giving to other people all the time. The universe is saying, now's the time for you to give to yourself. You deserve it. You've worked really hard. You've maybe saved for it. And it's a time for you to not hold yourself back from being able to move forward with what your intentions were all along. And being grateful that you will have the opportunity in the month of November to finally make that trip. Maybe it's perfect time. Work has slowed down. You have vacation time. Maybe it's a time where you can work out schedule-wise where it's the perfect opportunity for you. Around November 6th is when this is heavily going to be present for you, or the second week of November. So it looks like you need to be a little generous to yourself in the month of November and recognize what you need to do. Taurus, if you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website is TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. Give me 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that, Taurus. I'll adjust the time. All right, Taurus, let's get one oracle card for the overall energy for you in the month of November. What is the energy for Taurus for what they need to know in the month of November for Taurus? Expressive, number 29, which is also breaks down to number 11. So let's look at 29. This is about beauty, magic, and expression. This invites you to connect with your throat chakra. Express who you are in the deepest part of your being and express yourself as a spiritual being or a soul. Something internally is wanting to be expressed through dance, through singing, through drawing, cooking, gardening. Some type of uniqueness is what needs to be unveiled. You need to express your uniqueness. Maybe you play an instrument and you have some things you've been thinking or feeling. And the month of November is a time for you to open up and be at peace with who you are and finally express the truth of what's on a soul level for you. The Wheel of Fortune. You're about to have a lucky break. Something is fated in the month of November for you. The Empress and the Fool. Wow. All major arcana. 9 of Cups in reverse. Now's the time for you to really be able to finally take hold of whatever it is that you have been working on, something you have been really trying to maybe master. You've been creating something, but you maybe felt like before you had not perfected it. It's about to be expressed. Maybe you've been working on a speech of some sort, or you've been working on perfecting that perfect cookie or that perfect pie for the holiday or some sort. There's something about you just embarking on expressing your feelings and emotions through a creative outlet. And this is embarking on a new adventure. There's a new beginning for you starting in the month of November. Once you recognize you can put your uniqueness out there, whatever it is, whether it's verbally expressing something, whether it's through this creative endeavor, but this is a part of your fate and destiny. So whatever you've been working towards, it's finally ready for you to release it. Let the universe see it with the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to be really, really abundant with it. You're going to be prosperous with it. Luck is going to be on your side once you're able to put it out there and let the universe and the people see. Gemini. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. What is the energy in the month of November for Gemini? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good, Gemini? We have inspiring, number 27. So let's look at inspiring. This is about relationships, love, and sexuality. Inspiration, expression, and maturity. This card brings your relationship with yourself and others into balance. This is about you working or choosing to work closely with those around you. These could be monogamous relationships. This could be the relationships that you have with yourself. Maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about the perception of a situation around you. You're going to feel inspired in the month of November to better the relationships around you. You're going to tune more into how you feel about your own happiness and the happiness with those that are around you. So let's clarify, Gemini, this inspiration, this inspiring energy for you in November. The Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Lovers. We also have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So Gemini, there's a lot of feelings and emotions that maybe you have not expressed with the relationship. With the Lovers, it's about you making the choice and decision of who you want to be around, and those feelings and emotions finally need to come out. The Queen of Cups, it feels like you're going to feel inspired to finally tell this person how you feel. Now, you may feel a little intimidated with that Knight of Swords. That's a little bit of an aggressive energy, so the way you come across may not be as easy flowing. It might be a little bit more of a fast pace coming towards, but you're going to finally overcome it, and you're just going to spill the tea to the person that you have feelings and emotions for them, and that you hope that they're going to feel inspired to return the same energy to you, the same emotions of fulfillment. It does feel strongly like you are working up your confidence to be able to let this person know that you do like them or that you do want to be with them. All right, Cancer. All right, Cancer, you want your own personalized in-depth reading? My website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. Do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. What is the overall energy for Cancer in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good? Unconditional, number 21. Okay. You could be 21 years old. The 21st of the month could be significant. Let's look at unconditional. This is about relationships, love, and sexuality. Giving, boundaries, and preservation. This is asking you to bring your relationships with yourself and others into balance. Some things that you might need to work on in the month of November is stop looking for people to mother you. Stop misusing or mistrusting people that are not there for you, people that are maybe negative towards you, narcissistic towards you. Stop waiting for others to validate you and learn how to manage the word no. No is a full, complete sentence, believe it or not. There's something about you may feel like there's always got to be a condition for someone to love you. And in the month of November, you're being asked to recognize that that's not true with the world. You're being asked to realize that you can close that chapter and let that go. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Swords. We also got the Five of Swords, or Five of Wands. It feels like you are going to step into your power, that you're going to be able to analyze situations around you with people more than you ever have and realize that you don't have to conform to what other people want. You don't have to do what other people want. That if they don't accept you for who you are, then you are free to be able to close that chapter and say that that's it. You don't have to fight for someone to treat you or respect you the way you want. It looks like you're going to get into this Queen of Swords energy where you're going to start maintaining more healthy boundaries with people around you, maybe beliefs about yourself. And it's going to shift and change in the month of November of your own expectations of yourself. Leo, if you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website is TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Leo, what is the overall energy for you in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good? Leo. Abused, number 14. Okay, so let's look at abused. This is about self-pity, victimization, and self-withdrawal. This is a card that wants you to recognize a deep self-wound that you have inside you, a wound that maybe originated from your past, that you maybe unconsciously are not aware of. Maybe your behavior or traits characterized, there's been some type of neglect or abuse in your past. There could be some type of trauma that you have been suppressing, not wanting to accept or recognize that is there. This is about recognizing that and being able to work through that. So let's clarify, why is abused here? I have that Three of Swords that wanted to pop out. So somebody maybe has hurt you. They have conflicted pain upon your heart that maybe you've never detached from. In November is going to be a time for, with the star, it's finally time for you to heal it. It's finally time for you to realize in November that you can heal this wound. You don't have to push it and act like it's not there. Yeah, Four of Cups. You maybe are emotionally checked out in justice. Finally, balance the scales out. The Ace of Cups is in reverse. So maybe you haven't been open or receptive. Maybe you had a relationship that was very difficult, that you gave your all. You know, Leos lead with their heart. They give their all in relationships. And maybe you gave your all and you didn't receive it in return, and you felt the neglect or you felt abandonment in the situation, and you've been holding on to it. Universe is saying in the month of November, now is time for justice to be served. That you don't have to have your heart chakra partially or fully closed off. That you don't have to be disconnected emotionally from yourself and how your inner child feels. That you can finally heal yourself from these wounds of whatever this conditioned situation, this traumatic experience, whether it's through childhood or whether it's through adulthood, patterns around you. You can finally step up and heal yourself so that you can move past it in the month of November. All right, Virgo. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website is TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround, Virgo. Give me 1 second, Virgo. Okay, let me change the time. All right, Virgo. Let's see, Virgo. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. What's the overall energy for Virgo in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good? We do have creative, number 30. You could be 30 years old. Look at number 30. This is about self-knowledge and expression, spontaneity, renewal, opportunities, and mindfulness. You have a talent perhaps still hidden or already revealed inside you that's waiting to be expressed of service, of grace and beauty. You don't need to be intellectual to have this talent, only to release it, forgetting all constraints. So there's something that you have a hidden talent that you maybe feel you're not good enough, you're not able to do it. There's some type of fear of doubt about setting sail with letting people know about this creative side of you. Maybe you make something on the side and you're really good at it, but you don't let people know about it. 5 of Wands, King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. You are very much boundary-based with whatever this hidden talent is. And we have the 7 of Cups. You fantasize, you have the idea that it could turn into something. Universe is saying in the month of November, maybe around November 30th is significant, it's finally time for you to release this creative endeavor. Get into this Queen of Pentacles energy. Be practical with it. It's going to take you to a higher financial position than what you've ever imagined. Being able to harness in the energy of this is something that you're really good at. And the world needs whatever this is for you, whatever this creative outlet is that you're really talented with. This is supposed to be something that is making you money. This is a part of your path and journey. And in November, you're going to be pushed and encouraged not to fight and maintain the boundaries you've been doing up till now. All right, Libra, if you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. Libra, what is it that you need to know? What's the energy for you in the month of November? What does Libra need to know that's going to serve their highest good in the month of November? We have 28, seductive. Okay, let's take a look at 28. This is about impulsiveness, manipulation, games, and excess. This card is inviting you to work on your shadow side, the dark part of your being, which expresses itself through negative characteristic traits. Embrace your shadows without judgment in a lovingly way. When you act from darkness, part of you is in pain and your ego is setting up protective strategies to persevere you. So you could be too impulsive. You could be somebody who's very seductive. You could be somebody who tends to be manipulative. This is about you facing why. Why are you wearing the mask behind the ego and the pride? It's coming to light for you in the month of November. Maybe here in October when this video is being recorded, this is something that maybe is started to come to light, that is being illuminated to you heavily in October, and it's going to come to full fruition of you having to face this in the month of November. If you want your happily ever after, you have got to take the initiative to uncover and unpack what you know you need to do. It could be in regards to a relationship, why you feel like you've had to be this way. We do have the King of Cups in reverse, so there's definitely a suppression of your feelings and emotions. Something has maybe happened in the past that you have not wanted to deal with. You have just acted like it wasn't there, didn't happen. Universe is saying in November, now is the time for you to really understand why are you leading in a seductive or manipulative type energy towards others. It's because you're trying to preserve something within yourself that is painful. And if you want this 10 of Cups, you want to be happier and you don't want to have to be this way anymore, it's shining a light onto this heaviness of this fears and insecurities in the month of November. That you do need to finally make the choice and decision that you want to do the right thing. You want to be better. You want to be loved by somebody authentically for who you are, not because you have to manipulate them or you have to do things that are not fair and honest or genuine. And not leading in a lustful manner towards people to get them to love you. You don't have to sleep with people for someone to love you or to show you the affection. So there's something in the month of November with your being brought to illumination of these feelings of your shadow side that you need to work through. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio, if you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Scorpio, what is the overall energy for Scorpio in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good in the month of November? We have 26, unrecognized. Number 26. Let's look at 20. Ooh, it opened right up to that page. Okay. This is about wounds. It's about invisibility, transparency, and effacement. This card invites you to recognize any deep-rooted wounds you may have. This is something about maybe something unconsciously or traumatic that is in your psyche that you still know it's there, but you don't want to acknowledge that it's there. This could be something that you constantly feel like you have anxiety. You could fear that you don't matter to other people. People don't see you, that nobody puts you up on a pedestal. There's something about you almost don't even recognize yourself anymore. So let's clarify for Scorpio, why is unrecognized the energy for November for Scorpio? November 8th, 6th, and 2nd could be significant for you, Scorpio. Four of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Coins, and 10 of Wands. So there is a lot of pressure, burden. It feels like you've given up. The month of November is going to be significant because you maybe want something really bad. Maybe you want to get married or you want a relationship of some sort, but you have this fantasy or this illusion of what it could be, but you feel like nobody recognizes your worth and your value. Nobody appreciates you, or maybe nobody approaches you. There's something about it. I'm seeing like, kind of like an egg when it breaks open and then the egg comes out of the shell. It's time for you to break out of your shell in November, recognizing that it doesn't have to be a fantasy or an illusion, that if you want to get married or you want a relationship, you want a partner to love you, that you don't have to fear it. You can detach from the low self-esteem or the low confidence, this defeated energy that you've put upon yourself. Maybe it's a conditioned response over time, but you can actually break out of your shell and emerge into this Knight of Pentacles. This Knight of Pentacles is somebody who knows their value and knows their worth. And something along the way or path or journey for you, you have not. You have allowed other people's opinions or other people's placement in your life because they did not put you where you felt you needed to be. Your confidence went lower and lower and lower. And in the month of November, you feel like people don't even acknowledge you anymore. Maybe people don't approach you, or people don't invite you places, or you don't get talked to or validated. Well, it starts with you. Energy isn't very infectious. If you put out energy of, I don't want to be approached, nobody wants me, nobody needs me, it's like you're putting an umbrella over yourself. You're putting like an igloo over yourself where there's a coldness around your aura. And in the month of November, it's time for you to break out of that mold, to finally say, you know what? I need to get in the Nine of Pentacles. If I want to get married, I've got to break out of my comfort zone, stop putting myself in the cold and warm myself up, and elevating within so that the energy out, it becomes warmer, it becomes happier, it becomes more magnetic. It allows for people to want to come towards you, to put in the investment. And maybe you did put investments in the past and they were failed investments. And maybe that's what had tanked your self-confidence or your self-esteem, where you feel like you're just invisible to everybody around you. Those were people that were not meant to be a part of the journey for the long term. And that doesn't entitle for you to be completely defeated with where you want to be. You have to recognize that to get into this, it starts within here. It doesn't start with people pouring into you. It starts with you pouring into yourself, planting the roots within you, and then it grows outward. It doesn't pour in to come inward, it grows outward. So it feels like in November, it's going to be heavy for you to recognize that you don't need other people to recognize you. You need to recognize your own value, your own worth, and build in your own confidence. And that's going to be very, very prevalent for you in the month of November. All right, Sagittarius. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website is TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Sagittarius, what is the energy for you in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good in the month of November? Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know? What do they need to hear? Untamable, number 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. This is about shadows, selfishness, recklessness. This card is asking you to work on your shadow side, the dark part of your being, which expresses through negative characteristics and traits. When you act from the dark side, the ego, the pride, the narcissistic, selfish tendencies, this is a part of you that has been in pain. What happens is the ego and the pride set up strategies to persevere the pain and preserve it. This is a time for you to do a little bit of self-reflection. You might be emotionally closed off, emotionally distant. You may feel like everybody around you is injustice. You could feel like angry at times. There's a time in the month of November that you're being asked to focus. Why are you avoiding the emotions? Why do you feel that it's justified behavior? So let's clarify. Why is untamable the energy for Sagittarius in the month of November? Page of Swords, 3 of Coins, 4 of Wands, 8 of Coins. You know, you might have tried to work some things out, maybe with work, maybe with relationships. Maybe you've had a failed relationship with that 4 of Wands and the 3 of Coins, and it didn't work. You maybe just expected naturally it was going to work, and because it failed, you are taking on the tendencies that you fear failure again, so everything's going to fail. It's kind of like you're in this Page of Swords energy in the past that you just observed and watched things fail, but you didn't proactively maybe put in the work. You didn't actually roll up your sleeves and try to fix the situations around you. And now is the time for you to recognize that. Recognize that if you don't actively try to correct situations and circumstances, they don't naturally progress and they don't naturally get better. That you actually have to activate some type of action. The Page of Swords is let me sit back and observe. Let me gather information, but I'm not going to actually do anything with it. I'm just going to observe. And it feels like in your past, you have something that you maybe should have been more proactive with working through. Could have been, like I said, it could have been at work. It could have been, we have the Four of Wands next to it. You could have been married. It could be a relationship. There was something that you were supposed to actively try to work as a team, but you didn't. You just sat and observed. You wanted to work with the Eight of Pentacles. You wanted it to work, the situation or circumstance, but you didn't put in the work. Well, wanting to do the work and actually doing the work is two different things. So this is coming to light for you in the month of November. Around the 4th of November or the 4th week in November is going to be very heavy for you. So this is a time for you to understand and uncover that your lack of actions has prevented the status where you're at now. So let's uncover and unpack those fears. Like, why do you still feel that you should be in this observation energy instead of proactively working through it? So it's kind of unpacking an experience, whether this is at work or relationship from your past, that you just expected it to resolve itself and it never did. And you didn't proactively step into the role of doing something. And it's coming to light for you. That shadow side is coming up in November, of you having to analyze that you maybe did not proactively put in the necessary work to fix the situation. And that's the end result of it. All right, Capricorn. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Capricorn. What's the energy for you in the month of November? What does Capricorn need to know? What do they need to hear that's going to serve their highest good? Capricorn. You got the same card as Sagittarius, untamable. Okay, number 4. It's about selfishness, recklessness. This card is asking you to work on your shadow side. It's the dark part of your being that expresses itself through negative characteristic traits. Embrace your shadows without judgment. When you act in darkness, part of you is in pain. That's where you set up the ego, you set up the pride, because it's trying to preserve the true hurt and pain that's below the surface. You could be somebody who's aggressive, maybe a little bit harsh. You could be very injustice and competitive or distant. Maybe you're emotionally closed off. This is a time for you to accept vulnerability and then actually show that vulnerability. There's not a weakness in being vulnerable. Everybody has to be vulnerable at some time in their life. If you want to be able to progress and heal, in the month of November, it's going to come up very heavily. Judgment. You could be heavily judged for maybe your critical thinking or your critical ways with your peers or people that are close to you. King of Cups in reverse. Excuse me. You do not give an F is what I'm hearing about what people think or say about you. You're not emotionally checked into your heart chakra. We also have the Hermit. You could spend a lot of time by yourself. We got the Queen of Wands. So you know that you have to make the decision if you want to overcome this behavior. It starts with you. It starts with understanding and unpacking what experience you've been through. And it looks like something's going to be illuminated in the month of November with that Hermit mode. This is about looking within, like, why am I emotionally closed off? Why is my heart not open? Why do I feel like I need to lead with my ego and my pride? Why can I not be emotional vulnerable? Why can't I be fully transparent? Why do I judge people around me? Maybe prematurely? Why do I justify my behavior in the way that it is? It's going to be very heavy for you in the month of November to understand that. We do have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So it feels like you will want to take the lead to try to understand this more about yourself and how to uncover those fears and insecurities that are being masked with that ego and pride in the month of November. All right, Aquarius. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. All right, Aquarius, what is the energy for you in the month of November? What is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to hear? Neglected, number 38, which is also the number 11. So let's take a look at neglected for Aquarius. Neglected. Okay, so this is about lacking, devaluation. This card is inviting you to recognize a wounded self deep inside of you. A wound that can originate from the past, but could be in your ancestral trauma, could be an unconscious trauma. You could be somebody who feels there's a lack of fulfillment, a lack of security, a lack of recognition or validation. This is asking you to understand really what's inside of you and why you feel neglected. So let's clarify, Aquarius. Why is neglected the overall energy for you in the month of November? Why are you in this energy? Why is Aquarius in this energy in November? 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Coins, and Knight of Pentacles. I also have the 9 of Swords. That's the hurt. That's the pain. That's, I don't trust the situation or circumstances. You're teeter-tottering between the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Coins. So it looks like there was something that you could be married. You could be in a long-term relationship. You could be at a job for a really long time. There's something that has longevity here that you feel you're being juggled. You feel you're trying to be practical with it, but you don't feel like you're getting the return on your investment. Meaning if it's a relationship, you feel like you can't trust your partner. You feel like your partner doesn't spend any time with you. They don't make you feel seen. They make you feel alone within your relationship. If it's not a romantic partnership that you feel drawn to with this reading, it could be your job. You could feel like you put in so much work and you deserve so much more money and you don't have it. You just don't trust it. And on one hand, you want the longevity because you have history at this job or you have history with this person and you want it to continue to go on. You know, sometimes there's a happiness that comes with being with a place of work or an employment or with a person, maybe a friendship or a romantic partner for a long time. You know, the history's built up. There's a happiness there. So it's like you want to hold on to it because of that. But the other hand, you're trying to be practical, but what is left with it? With the job, you feel like there's no job security, but you've still been there a long time. Maybe it does pay the bills, but you're not happy. You're miserable because your boss never talks to you and your coworkers don't like you or you don't like the hours. There's something, or if it's a relationship, you're in it because you've been in it for so long and you don't know any different, but you don't feel seen. You don't feel like you're important. In the month of November, it's bubbling to the surface, these feelings and emotions are, that you don't trust the circumstances of whatever this is, whether it's a relationship, a job, a friendship. You feel vulnerable, you feel exposed, that these emotions are getting stronger and stronger. And it's because you're juggling, because of the history and the longevity versus the practicality, that it's just not working anymore. And, you know, with the teeter-totter, one side has to give at any given point. And so I think you're holding on to something, a relationship of some sort or a job, because of history or longevity, but you feel empty inside within that connection or that job. So it's coming to the surface that you're going to have to be practical with yourself. You're going to have to make a decision of working through, why do you feel the neglect? Are you loving yourself enough to recognize your own value and worth, whether it's in that job or that career, that maybe you deserve something better, or that friendship or that relationship dynamic. All right, Pisces. If you want your own personalized in-depth reading, my website's TimelessDivineTarot.com. I do have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. Pisces, what is the energy for you in the month of November? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good? Pisces, what does Pisces need to know? What's the overall energy for Pisces in the month of November? Threatened, number 2. Let's take a look here. Why is threatened here? Something is coming to light. Danger, persecution, fear. This is about recognizing something from your past that is still, you feel threatened by. It could be security, a sense of not being validated. There's some type of internal threat you feel because of sadness, or your sense of happiness is being threatened within yourself in the month of November. So let's find out why for Pisces. Why is this the energy that Pisces needs to focus on healing in the month of November? November. Clarify threaten for Pisces. Clarify threaten for Pisces. Okay, so it looks like there's been some, excuse me, some fight. You could be married. We do have the King and Queen of Wands here. This could be your parents. Maybe your parents are threatening to cut you off. They're threatening to cut you off. There's definitely words exchanged. It feels heavily like somebody is threatened to cut you out of their life, or they're trying to cut you off, potentially financially. You feel threatened of some sort. It's a fight. Clarify that 5. Okay. There's something about seeing things clearly for what they are. You've maybe been afraid to venture out on your own and go do what you want to do. And you've kind of been following the status quo with people around you of what they want you to do, their expectations. And you're feeling in the month of November, your own happiness is being threatened. And the universe wants you to see clearly that you own your own happiness. I tell clients all the time, happiness is like a bank account. Once you lend it to someone else, they have ownership of that bank account. They can make deposits, make you feel good, make you feel secure, make you feel content, but they can also do withdrawals where they can deplete you. They can completely bankrupt you. So you always want to know clearly that your happiness is owned 100% within you first. And then when there's other relationships, family, friends, romantic connections, those are bonus happiness in addition to the love that you have for yourself. And so it feels like you're being tested with this threat. You feel like an invasion of what, excuse me, of what you love. Maybe you don't, you're being told not to speak of what you want to do for a living or where you want to live, or something about, it feels like you're being cut off or threatened to be cut off with family or friends if you don't do what they want. And you're going to see clearly now you don't have to take the threats lightly. You can go do what you want with your life, that you're an adult. You have free will to pick and choose what it is that you want. And it's something that's going to shock you because I think you don't expect it. It's going to come out of nowhere. It's kind of like somebody says to you, well, you need to do this or X, Y, and Z is going to be your consequence. Almost like you're being reprimanded with a threat if you don't follow through with the status quo. It could be a job. It could be with family. It could be with a romantic partner. But you're going to see clearly now that you have the choice. And it looks like you're going to step into your power of choice with that Knight of Swords, of defending your stance to do what it is that you want in the month of November.